Hello student. Today we will discuss about the traffic sign, traffic marking and signal design. So this is one of your important topic under your traffic engineering. So you can expect that this one is the last topic under your traffic segment. So let me introduce myself. Myself Dr. Debasish. As you know, I am the assistant professor in JIS College of Engineering. Here is my email ID, WhatsApp number is given. So if you have any query in any topic, you can reach to this contact details. So first we have to understand that what is various traffic of traffic sign, traffic marking, traffic signal. What are these things actually are? So basically, in every not in traffic, in our daily life, there are some rules and guidelines and the regulations are there. So in the same way, there are some regulations or guidelines are there in traffic movement. So these guidelines or the controlling measures are basically defined by traffic sign, traffic marking and traffic signal design. So let's start with the basic thing about the traffic marking, traffic sign and the traffic signal. So in order to have the safe traffic on road, we need to implement or we need to have a proper traffic control system or traffic regulation system. Why this regulation is needed? Why this control is needed? For a smooth flow of the traffic. Next is the traffic regulation and control are implemented. The various regulations imposed through the traffic control devices should fulfill the requirements such as clear visibility during the day and night, easy to recognize and understand. This means easy to recognize and understand means suppose you are traveling in a road which is totally unknown to you and suddenly you need some medical emergencies or you need some fuel to run your vehicle or you need to have some food. So where you get this information, because the road is totally known, new to you, and it is suppose it is a night time, so there is no one whom you will ask. So there should be some proper information systems are there which give you an idea about the necessity or the basic infrastructure alongside the road. So these are the some identification or the indication to the driver to get the information about the petrol pump, means the fueling station, again the food corner, again the medical purposes means hospital, nursing home or the medical unit, like that. Next is the sufficient time for the driver driving at the design speed or with the legal speed limit to react and follow the regulation. Suppose you are moving in a road and you suddenly see that the speed, some in some places they highlighted the speed limit is 35 kilometer. So that is a kind of regulation or that is a kind of measure to control the traffic. Suppose if that regulation will not be there, the vehicle may be pass that particular portion at 60 km per hour, but due to the geometric feature they have fixed some restriction on the speed of suppose 30 km or 35 km per hour. So these are the some regulation or the control devices or the control measures to be taken for the reduce the accident and for a smooth flow of the traffic to ensure the safety in the general. Yes, if there will be less chances of the accident, then there will be the safety will be also be increased. So these are the some regulation and the control devices. Now if we discuss in the broad aspect what is the regulation and the control on the driver, so these are the things. So first thing is that the control on the drivers include the eligibility of driving motor vehicles, issue of driving license and other regulation on the drivers during the act of driving. Second is the as per the Motor Vehicle Act, the minimum age of getting a driving license on non-geared two-wheeler is 16 years and the minimum age for driving geared vehicle is 18 years. Driving a motor vehicles without a valid driving license is an offense. Yes, as you all know, the without driving license it is a criminal offense to take out your two-wheeler or a four-wheeler outside your residence. Before the issue of driving license for a specific category of vehicle, one has to undergo some specific test. That is a driving license test, which one should undergo through this test by their respective motor vehicle department. The driver is expected to demonstrate his ability. A separate requirement and the test has been have been specified for driving different category of the vehicle. Drivers are prohibiting driving, dangerous driving, including the exceeding the specified speed, the drink and drive, the talk and drive, because you are driving, you are talking while you are driving. These things should be, these are the prohibited, and all of you have faced this type of thing at some time or some point of your life. So these are the very general and the known thing to of your daily life, to get the idea about the various control devices. Next is the regulation and the control of the vehicle. This is the continuous of the previous. The regulation and control of the vehicles include: the restriction is essential, the information about the details of the vehicles, the different specification of the public transport or hire vehicle or the private car, the specified color of the registration plate. The regulation cover at last the third party insurance. So insurance is one of the most vital thing. It is initiate at the beginning of your purchasing of any two-wheeler or the four-wheeler or the six-wheeler or any type of the vehicle. So the implementation of the regulation. So basically, the traffic regulation have been enacted and implemented in India with the help of the Motor Vehicle Act in 1939 and the revised Motor Vehicle Act in 1988. This have covered various traffic regulation measures like driver, vehicle ownership, vehicle operation on road and in traffic street. The various items covered are the traffic sign, traffic signal, the halting places, the speed of the vehicle, the emission of the gas emission. These are some of the parameters are considered. Some of the most common traffic regulation, such as the one-way regulation and the turning restriction. The various other regulations are stop, speed limit restriction, overtaking restriction, parking. These are the some general restrictions should be implemented in the roadside. Now we will talk about the what are the various type of the street. Means street based on the traffic movement, whether it is a one dimensional or the one way street or the two-way street. Two-way means they are the vehicles are moving in the both way. One way means the vehicles are moving only in a one direction. So in a one-way street, in congested street, one of the method to reduce the several accident and to ensure the smooth flow of the traffic is by regulating the traffic along one street. Yes, if the vehicles are moving at a particular direction, then the accident will definitely be comparatively less compared to the two-way street or the more than two-way street. The traffic is allowed to move only in one specific direction. Such regulation are possible only when there is a network of road connection to bigger roads, so that the additional distances to be traversed by some vehicles. Yes, the width of the vehicle should be sufficient enough, or the length of the vehicle should be sufficient enough so that we can provide the adequate space. As a general guideline, the ILC suggested that due to the introduction of one-way regulation, the extra distance to be traveled does not exceed 30% of the original distance. This is feasible only when the complementary roads are available at fairly close interval. So these are, you can see that these are the some one-way streets. I will not read out all the points. So these are the basic thing about the one-way street. Next, what is the advantage of the one-way street and what is the disadvantage of the one-way street? So the advantage is it increase the average travel speed. Yes, definitely. The more effective coordination of signal system, side increases in roadway capacity, more stream line movement of the vehicles, reduction in service accident involving head-on collision, reduction in the conflict point at uncontrolled intersection at grade resulting in reduction in accident. So I have already discussed about the conflict point, what are the various types of the conflict point, what is at grade intersection, what is grade separated intersection, that has already been covered. So you have an idea about the intersection and the conflict point. Improved pedestrian movement. So these are the some advantages, and if there is some advantages, there must be some disadvantages. So what is the disadvantages? So the disadvantages are it increase the travel distance for majority of vehicle trips, possible increase in fuel cost and also travel time for a small proportion of the vehicles. Is if the travel distance will be increased, then definitely the travel time and the fuel consumption will be increased. Possibility of violation of one-way regulation by some road user in the absence of strict enforcement resulting to additional accident. difficult for pedestrians to cross wide one-way roads. This may lead to additional pedestrian accident on such wide road stretches. So this is are all talking about the conflict point. I will not go to this part. This part already covered in your previous classes. That what are the various type of the conflict point. The basic thing, the types of the conflict are the converging, merging, diverging, and the weaving conflicts. So now the next topic is the traffic control devices. What are the various traffic control devices? The various aids and devices used to control, regulate, and guide traffic may be called traffic control devices. The general requirement of traffic control devices are attaining attention, meaning, time for response, and respect of the road users. The traffic control devices installed along the road should be well within the field of vision of the drivers who are driving the vehicles at the desired speed. The device should distinctly draw the attention. The location of these devices should be such that there is sufficient time for the drivers to respond and take the appropriate action. The most common among the traffic control devices are traffic sign, traffic signal, road marking, and traffic island. Traffic island has already been covered, that is the rotary intersection or the roundabout. In addition, road lighting is useful in guiding traffic during the night. So it is also essential that these traffic control devices and their meaning should be easily understood even by the road users who are not familiar here, because these are some technical term, but all the users are using the road are not gone through this subject or gone through the have the proper technical skills or knowledge about this term. So the dissemination of the information should be simplest in the form, should be in the simplest form, so that the everyone in the country or in that area can get the meaning or can understand what is actually defined. So this is the one of the very important thing which should be kept in mind while disseminating any traffic information, any information regarding the through some traffic sign or through some road marking. So these are the general features of regulatory signs. The regulatory signs are also called as the mandatory signs. These signs are meant to inform the road users of certain laws, regulation, and prohibitions. Suppose the parking is prohibited. This is some kinds of the prohibitionary your traffic signs. The U-turning is prohibited in this particular area. So these are some example of prohibitionary traffic signs. Next is the violation of any regulatory sign is a legal offense and is punishable as specified. All regulatory and mandatory signs are circular in shape. So you keep in mind that for different type of the signs, the shape and the color is different. So for regulatory and mandatory signs, it is a circular in shape with only two exceptions. They are stop sign of octagonal shape and give way signs is in inverted triangle. So keep in mind that the regulatory or the mandatory signs are always in a circular shape, excluding the stop sign which is in octagonal shape and the giveaway sign which is in inverted triangle shape. Among the regulatory signs of circular shape, majority of them have the red color border of with 60 mm and white color in interior. However, the color of the interior of no parking and no stopping signs are blue. So these are the some specification or the guideline you need to follow for while providing any traffic regulatory sign in the actual field. So these are the guideline of the shape. These are the guideline of the color of that regulatory sign. Now what to write on the regulatory or how it looks, we will discuss through some pictorial diagram in the later stage. So these are the some pictorial diagram of your various type of regulatory sign. So suppose this one is a stop sign. In many places you can find that these are the some stop sign. These are some giveaway sign. These are the some right turn prohibited, means you are not allowed to take the right turn. This is the U-turn prohibited. So these are the some signs you always found in the way in your road or in any marketplaces, in nearby any shopping places or some dining places or some your movie complex, multiplex. You can find this type of regulations in each and every day. but you have not you have not looked into this matter with serious concern. But when you have traveled, or when you find these things in the next time when you visit to any market, just get an idea how it actually looks like, because these are some very common thing which you can find out in your daily life. Now the types of the regulatory sign, the stop sign. The stop sign is of octagonal shape and red in color with a white border of with 60 mm. The stop sign is intended to stop the vehicle entering a major road. The stop line has to be clearly marked on the pavement. The drivers have to understand the significance. However, the regulatory sign may be used for combination of the rectangular definition. There is a giveaway sign, means you the giveaway means you want to give the password to the another vehicle. Then the prohibitory sign, no parking sign, speed limit sign, restriction in design sign. So these are the various type of signs you can find out in your traffic design or in the traffic engineering. Next is the warning type of sign. That is the regulatory sign. This is the warning sign. What are the various type of warning signs? The warning signs in the shape of equilateral triangle with the apex pointed upward. They have a white background, red border, and black symbol. Warning signs or cautionary signs are used to warn the road users on certain hazardous conditions that exist on or adjacent of the roadway. The warning signs are to be located at a sufficient distance in advance of the hazard ward. This distance are to be based on the design speed or the legal speed limit of the road stage. The commonly used warning sign is a sharp curve. Means this sign gives you some warn that there is a hairpin bend just 30 meters apart from your present location. So these are the some warning where the chances of the accident or chances of the collision is there. There is a sharp curve, right hand and left hand curve, hairpin bend. So these are basically this warning time. Means suppose the school is nearby of your within the 50-meter zone. There may be some main the person working at a particular area. Suppose in some places you can find out that work is going on, or the main at a work, please have a diversion. So these are the some warning type of sign you need to follow in the road. So these are some the warning type sign. That is a typical cautionary sign, right hand curve, left hand curve, hairpin bend. So these are some particular direction or particular structure of various different type of the warning sign. Next is the informatory signs. Informatory signs is the, by name itself you can get the meaning. Informatory sign is it gives you some information about, suppose you are traveling, as I start in the beginning, that you are traveling into the totally a new road at a night place, and suddenly you need some fuel. So you need to have the idea that where is the fuel station is actually is. So by this informatory sign you can find out that just after 2 kilometers you can get a fuel station. So this is the type of the informatory sign. So the informatory signs are rectangular in shape. The signs are used to guide the road user along the roads, inform them of destination and distance, thus providing the information of all travel is here safe and present. The color chosen for informatory or guide sign depends on the classification of the road. The national highways and the state highway, the informatory signs shall have a green background with the border and word messages in white color. For all other categories of the road, such as the MDR, major district road, ODR, other district road, VR, village road, and these signs have all the white background with the border and word message in the black color. So these are the information signs are grouped under the following solution: direction and the place identification sign, facility information sign, other useful information sign, parking signs, and the flood gauge. The directional sign. So these are the details about the various type of the warning sign, sorry, informatory sign. So you can get an idea from this note itself. So this is a type of your informatory sign you can find out. So suppose in a 3-point junction you can find out the, suppose a left side, if you go to the left side you can find out the New Delhi. If you go to the straight you can find the Najafargarh. In a right side you can find out the Rohtak. So basically this is the give you the idea about or the information about your the direction of the road or the facilities along the road. General principle to be observed during the installation of the traffic sign. So the traffic sign should be placed such that they could be seen and recognized by the road users. The transverse location of the sign may be such that in case of the road with curve, in a in turning area, you can install this traffic sign so that the person or the user can easily identify that traffic sign. The transverse location of the sign on roads without curve, the nearest edge may be 2 to 3 meters from the edge of the carriageway. The sign should be mounted on a sign post painted alternatively with 25 centimeter black. The site shape, color code, and the symbols used and the location of the sign should be as specified under each category. The reverse side of all these sign plate should be painted gray. So that next, this is all about your traffic sign, traffic marking, or the traffic, your information or the traffic road marking. Now we will discuss about the traffic signal. So traffic signals is also one of the very important aspect in the traffic engineering. So traffic, what are the various objective of the traffic signal? So the objective of the traffic signals are as follows: the intersection where there are a large number of crossing and the right turn traffic, we need to install the traffic signal. So basically these are the warrant for installation of the traffic signal, means on basis on the which condition we go for a traffic signal installation. On crossroad with a two lane and a two-way traffic, there are 16 cross conflict. As I told that I will not discuss more details of the conflict points because this has already been covered. So based on the number of the conflict point, again the installation of the traffic signal came in the your concept. The problem of such conflict at the intersection gains more significance as the traffic signal volume increase. In such situation, the earlier practice has been to control the traffic with the help of the traffic police. Thus, the crossing stream of the traffic flow are separated by time segregation. In bigger cities, a large number of the police personnel are required simultaneously to control the traffic during the peak hours at most of the junctions with a heavy traffic flow. Therefore, the traffic signals are made use of to perform this function of the control at the road intersection. The main requirement of the traffic signals are drawn attention of the road user, enable them to understand the meaning of the light signal, provide sufficient time to respond, and the ensure minimum waste of the time. So what are the advantages? The advantages are the provide the orderly movement of the traffic, the quality of the traffic flow is improved, the reduction in accident, traffic handling capacity is highest, provide a chance of the traffic of minor road to cross the continuous traffic through the main major road. A pedestrian can cross the road safely. When the signal system is properly coordinated, the speed of the vehicle are maintained. Automatic traffic signal may work out to be more economical when compared to the manual. What are the disadvantages? The rear end collision may increases. Improper design and location of signal may lead to a violation of the traffic control system. Failure of the signal due to the electric power failure or any other defects may cause it. The variation in the vehicle and arrival on the approach road may cause. Excessive delay of the vehicle may be caused. Drivers may be induced to use the less adequate and the less safe route. So these are the some definition are of the basic terminology used in the signal design. The first thing is that signal cycle, then your signal phase and the interval. So these are the basically the three basic terminology or definition you should know before going to the details calculation, the detailed study on the traffic signal. At the end of this session, you will also find some mathematical problem how to design the traffic signal. So before that, you should have an idea about the signal cycle, signal phase, and the interval. So signal cycle is what? The period of time required for one complete sequence of signal indication. Sequence means, so as you have seen that in traffic signal, basically there are three types of traffic colors or the traffic signals are there. One is red, one is green, another one is yellow. So this red is known as the red time, as you know. The green time is known as the green time. So red means you have to stop it, you stop your vehicle. Green means you can go. There is another signal is there, that is the YOLO, that is known as the amber type or the amber signal. So in that signal, the drivers is the responsibility of the driver is to look into the around his or her vehicle, so that they can initiate the start process to get the green signal and to move his or her vehicle. So this is the totally get set go. So basically the in between get and go there is a term of set. So this set is basically initiate engine of the vehicle to start, and this duration or this period is known as the amber time. So this amber time is typically 2 to 4 second or 2 to 5 second. So it is in general it is in between 2 to 4 second. The part of the signal cycle. So basically this red plus green plus amber is known as the signal cycle. So this is all this combination of these three are the signal cycle. Now this individually red, individually green and individually yellow is known as the signal phase. Here it is written the same thing. The part of the signal cycle means partly there are three parts in the signal cycle. Each part is known as the signal phase. The duration of stop phase is the red phase. The duration of the go phase is the green phase. Any of the division of this signal cycle during the which the signal indication do not change is called as the interval. Means suppose whenever you are traveling in a road, you can find out that there is a red signal for suppose 30 seconds. So or a green signal for 40 seconds. So this duration of individual phase, the duration of individual phase is known as the interval. The engineer has to design the signal with the sequence and duration of the individual phases. The level of service is measured. Level of service means the percentage of the service of the traffic movement on that particular route. So basically level of service are categorized from A to F. A is the best level or best service you can provide on that particular aspect, on that particular road, on that particular aspect means there is the aspect in the traffic movement. Now the level of service can be categorized for parking, level of service can be categorized for traffic movement. So there are various type of parameters are there for which we can define the level of service on that particular area or the particular road section. So the level of service is measured by the vehicle delay, the queue length or the number of the vehicles backup, and the probability of the vehicles entering the intersection during the first green phase after the arrival. The capacity of the signalized intersection depends on the physical factor of the road, such as the road width, number of the lanes, geometric design feature, intersection, and also the green and the red phase of the traffic signal. The capacity is also affected by the operation and control factors such as the number of the turning movement, number and the size of the commercial vehicles, pedestrians, and traffic signal characteristics, and abating the land use. So the type of the traffic signal. So traffic signals are basically classified as the traffic control signal, pedestrian signal, and the special traffic signal. The traffic control signals are have three colored signal. As I said that is one is green, one is red, another is yellow, which is known as the amber. The red light means the stop, the green light means go, and the amber or the yellow lights allow the clearance time for the vehicles which enter the intersection area by the end of the green time. So to clear the intersection before the change over to the red signal. The additional signals showing green lights to separate turning movement may also be provided where necessary. So this is a typical traffic signal you can find out. Here it is a red, it is the amber, and it is a green. Next is the pedestrian signal. The pedestrian signal may be installed at the intersection controlled by the traffic signal. In such cases, the pedestrian signals and their timing are interlinked to operate along with the traffic control signal. At certain locations of mid-block stretches of urban road with high demand for the pedestrian crossing. Special type of the signals are, so there are also various special type of signals. So the special traffic signals such as the flashing beacons may be installed at certain location. At flashing red signal, Flashing yellow signal or cautionary signal mean for signify that drivers may proceed with a caution. Traffic control signals. So the traffic control signals are controlled by the very different methods, or designed by the different methods. The first one is the manually operated signal. Then is the manually operated means there are some persons are there, some traffic police are there who control the traffic signal, or the phase means the duration of the traffic signal of each phase, means the interval of each phase based on the number of the vehicles arrived at that intersection. That is the manual operated. Next is the fixed time automated. That is basically the automatic traffic signal which is fixed. Fixed means that if suppose there is a less number of vehicles, or whether it is a more number of vehicles, the red time or the green time or the amber time is fixed throughout the day and throughout the night. Next is the automatic traffic actuated signal, means is varied based on the number of the vehicles arrived at that particular location. So manually operated, as I said, that it is each of the manual signal operated from the salient point of the near the intersection by the traffic police. The fixed time is, as I said, that it is a fixed operator. So whatever I have give the base the in a gist manner, that is here elaborately discussed. Next we will discuss about the automatic, as already it is discussed. So automatic again are divided in semi-actuated traffic signal, fully actuated traffic signal, and moderated fixed traffic equipment. So what is the automatic traffic actuated signal? So traffic actuated signals are those in which the time of the phase of the cycle change according to the traffic demand. As I said that it is basically varied. Now you will ask me the questions, how they detect that, what traffic intervals, or what will be the duration for that. So for that all the vehicles and the particular intersection should have some sensors. So based on that sensor, they will count the number of the vehicles. So this is very costly system, or the costly infrastructure to install at the particular location. So basically we will follow the manually operated or the fully operated. These automatic traffic actuated signals are costly in actual case. So what is the advantages? So advantages is a simple in construction, relatively inexpensive, mostly successfully used in the link system requiring a fixed cycle length for a given pattern and the speed progression. They have a flexible and are able to adjust the changing traffic condition automatically, and delay is held to minimum and the maximum capacity is achieved. What are the disadvantage? Inflexibility, and hence may cause the avoidable delay. Required careful setting, required costly equipment such as the detectors and the sophisticated controller. So basically this is the overall advantage and disadvantage of the traffic signal. Because if you are talking about the point the costly equipment, then this costly equipment is mainly used for the actuated traffic signal system. The equipments are also costly in the fully automatic system, but the cost is comparatively or 3 or 4 times higher in actuated traffic signal. Coordinated traffic control signals. So coordinated signal system on a road network of an area is very complex problem. Area traffic control system with coordinated signal network is to be implemented with the help of the advanced technology. So this is a basically a advanced type of the traffic signal, which is very, you can rarely found in the country, in the developing country like India, the coordinated control traffic system. So the basic, as I said, the you can find out basically the manually operated traffic signal or the fully operated traffic signal. So these are the some four basic types of the coordinated traffic signal system. I will not go in the deep discussion on this, because these are the very rarely purpose where we can use this type of the signal system. Okay, so now we will directly go to that, what are the various type of the design method of the signal. This is one of the vital or the important thing that we need to understand or need to have knowledge about the design the traffic signal. So the first two methods, there are four methods: the trial cycle method, the approximate method based on the pedestrian crossing, the Webster method, and the design as per the IRC guideline. So basically we will follow the methods number 1 and 3, that is the trial cycle method and the Webster method. So let's have some detailed idea about these two methods, and at the end of the classes, as I said, that we will also solve some mathematical problem. So the first two methods are approximate design procedure. Webster method of signal design is rational approach with the object to minimize the overall delay of all the vehicles entering the intersection. In addition, the signal design method as per the guideline of IRC is also given. For purpose of simplicity, two-phase traffic signal with no turning movements are illustrated here. The method may be suitably extended for multi-phase operation also. The trial cycle, approximate Webster, and the design of IRC. So this is the trial cycle method. So what this suggested that as per the trial cycle method, so basically while we go calculate design the trial cycle or any type of traffic service, in the beginning of this course I have told you that for any survey 15 minute each hour, 15-minute each hour survey is conducted on the field. So as per that, the 15-minute traffic count on two roads. Suppose there are two roads. The two roads are N1 and N2. Road 1 is known as the N1 and road 2 is given as the N2. So a 15-minute traffic count N1 and N2 on road 1 and road 2 are noted during this design peak hour. Some suitable trial cycle C1. So they assume the C1 is the trial cycle is assumed, and number of the assumed cycle in that 15 minutes or the or 15 into 60 second means in 900 second is found to be 900 second by C1. Let's just get an idea that suppose there is a 15-minute service. So 15 minutes mean is what? 15 minutes mean 900 seconds. So if one cycle is considered to be C1, then how many cycles are there? So total duration is 900 seconds and one cycle is C1. So the number of cycle is 900 by C1. That is the simplest thing. So don't confuse there. Next is the assuming an average time headway 2.5 seconds. The green phase G1 and G2 on the road 1 and 2 are calculated to clear the traffic during. So the calculation of G1 and G2 the given by this equation. So G1 is 2.5, that is the headway, time headway. The time headway either given in the question paper or you can directly assume it to the 2 to 2.5 seconds. So 2.5 N1. N1 is the traffic counts mean number of the vehicle at road 1, and N2 is the number of vehicle, total number of vehicles at N2 road 2. So the G1 is 2.5 N1 C1 divided by 900, and G2 is equal to 2.5 N2 C2 by 900. The amber period A1 and A2 either calculated or assumed suitably 3 to 4 seconds, and the trial cycle length is calculated C1 dash is equals to G1 the A1 plus A2 second, and G2 is equal to C2 bar is equal to G2 plus A1 and A2. So if the calculated cycle length works out to be approximately equals to the assumed cycle length, the cycle length is acceptable for the design. So at the beginning we have assumed some cycle length C1. So if our calculated value is same as our assumption value, then we said that yes, our assumption is right. Else we have to again assume some another C1 value. That is why it is known as the trial cycle method. This is a trial and error process. Otherwise, the trials are repeated till the trial cycle length works out approximately equal to the calculated value. So there is no such cases that I have to do for the 4 trials or the 5 trials. You have to do these trials for until your assumed value and calculated value are same. That is why we said that the trial cycle method is laborious and time taking. The design procedure is further explained in example in the next example. So what they said that the 15-minute traffic count on crossroad 1 and 2 during the peak hour are observed as 178 and 142 vehicles per lane respectively, approaching the intersection in the direction of the heavier traffic flow. If the amber time required are 3 and 2 seconds respectively for two loads based on the approach speed, the design of the signal time by trial cycle method. Assume a time headway as 2.5 seconds. So let's solve this problem. So what they said that for given 15 minute N1 is 178 So they have said that the observed vehicle is 178 and 142 for road 1 and road 2. So N1 is 178, N2 is 142, A1 is given 3 seconds, A2 is 2 seconds, and time headway HT is 2.5 seconds. Now initially they have assumed a trial cycle of 50 seconds. So the number of cycle is 900 by C1, 900 by C1, that is 80. So the green time for road 1 allowing average time headway 2.5 seconds, G1 is 2.5 N1 178 into C1 by 900, means if we bring this C1 in a denominator, then it is 900 by C1. 900 by C1 means what? C1 is assumed to be as your cycle time is 15 minutes. So 900 by C1 means what? Your 18. The C1 is assumed to be 50 and the 900 by C1 is 18. That is why here it is written 18. In the same way, they calculated the value of the road 2. That is for road 1 it is 24.7 second and for road 2 it is 19.7 second. Now the amber time is given as the A1 and A2 is 3 and 2 seconds. So the total cycle length is C equals to G1 plus G2 plus A1 plus A2. So if we sum up all this, it is come as the 49.4. So whether it is same as per our according to our assumption? No. So here we assume at 50, but we got a value of 49.4. Means we have to again repeat the process. Again we have to assume some C1. So it is not that there is only a deviation of 0.6 second, but still we will not consider this thing. So when the assumed value and the calculated value is equal, then we will only consider the assumed value. So in the same way we find out, we assume the C2 C1 the second trial is 40 seconds, and in that case we got a value of 40.6. Here again it is not matched. Now we again go for the third trial. We got assume a value of 45 seconds, and now this time we found the assume the total cycle in the calculated value is 45 seconds. Now we can say that yes, our assumed trial cycle and calculated trial cycle is same. So now based on that, now we have to design the signals time. So our work is not finished by calculation, only calculation of the traffic time, the signal time. We have to design this traffic signal. So therefore the trial cycle 45 seconds may be adopted with the following signal phase. G1 is 22.25, say 22 seconds, and G2 is 17.75, so says 18 seconds. Adopt A1 is 3 seconds and A2 is 2 seconds. This is already given. So the total cycle time is 45 seconds as calculated. So here you can find out how they design it. So if you see this diagram, only this diagram. So what is your value of G1? So G1 is 21 seconds. What is the value of A1? G1 means the first green. So after the green there will be some yellow sign, that is the amber sign. So after green there will never came the red sign. In between green and red there will be always be some yellow time, that is the amber time. So what is the amber? A1? A1 is 3 seconds. So G1 is 22 seconds, A1 is 3 seconds. Okay, and the second amber one, but here you cannot find out the R value, the red value. So the calculation of the red value is some kind of back calculation. How? So suppose your G1 is 22 seconds, A1 is 3 seconds. So after that what will come? After that the red signal will come, but we don't have the value of red. Okay, but we have the value of after red. What will come after red? The yellow will come, the A2, but we have the value of A2. What is the value of A2? A2 is the value of 2. So the G1 plus A1 and A2 is what? 22 plus 3 plus 2. So 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 22 is how much? 27. Our total duration is what? 45. So 45 minus 27. So 45 minus sorry. So here the first G1 is 22 seconds and amber is 3 seconds. So total is 22 plus 3, 25. And what will be your red time? So red time will be your total signal cycle minus the G1 plus A1. So 25 minus 45 minus 25 is how much? 20. Next it will come the amber 2, A2 means the 2 second. Okay, next it will come as the 2 second. Next we will find out again we have to find out red time, but we don't have the red time value. What value we have? We have a value of amber and we have a value of green. So by this adding of this amber and green and deduction from the total signal sign, we get the value of the red time. So in this way we calculate the value of the amber time, green time and the red time. Next we will come to the Webster method. This is the another method. So the in Webster method, this is the calculation is totally based on the saturation. So what they said, it has been found from studies that the average delay and the overall delay of the vehicles at the signalized intersection vary with the signal cycle length. The average delay per vehicles is high when the cycle length is very less. As a sizable proportion of traffic vehicles may not get cleared during the first cycle or may spill over the subsequent may get the subsequent intersections. So the field work consists of determining the following two sets of the values, that is the normal flow Q and the saturation flow S. So if you find out that there is a saturation flow of C0 is calculated as this is the total cycle length, calculate the equation is 1.5 L plus 5 divided by 1 minus Y, where A is equal to total lost time and the which is written as the 2n plus r, where n is equal to number of phase and r is equal to or rate time, and y is equal to known as the y1 plus y2, where y1 is equal to q1 and s1 and y2 is equal to q2 by s2, and from this we can calculate the g1 and g2. So this is a mathematical problem. This is a very simple problem. The all values are given and from that we calculate the total signal time, and from that we found out the signal design. So this is the last method, that is the method as per the IRC method. I will not get details on this. So this is a very simple thing. The base thing, yeah, the important is the your web start and the trial cycle method. You can just get an idea from this lecture itself what are the IRC guidelines suggested. This is the problem solved by the IRC. You can get an idea. If you have any doubt from this IRC or the approximate method, this is the very simplest thing. This will not take too much time to understand, and the main time is taken for the Webster method and the your trial cycle method. So this is all about the your traffic signal design. So if you have any doubt regarding this thing, you can ask me, or through this contact, my email ID and phone number is given, and if you have any query apart from these classes also, you can ask me. So thank you till the next class.